Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever noticed how some older adults, the moment they get a little chill, they catch a cold or they have one small fall and they just can't seem to get back up, while other seniors in their 70s, 80s, even 90s seem incredibly resilient? They're sturdy, they're resilient, as some might say. What's their secret? As a board certified family physician practicing for over a decade here in the US, I see this all the time in my clinic, and the secret often comes down to one surprising thing. Wait, today I'm going to share a medical truth that might completely flip your current thinking for seniors being slightly overweight. What we might call pleasantly plump isn't a bad thing. It can actually be a powerful shield, a real shield, but being too thin, that can bring three major hidden dangers: malnutrition, poor resilience against illness, and a really scary condition called sarcopenia. I have so many patients in their 60s and 70s who are chasing that old and thin ideal. They're dieting like crazy. They're scared to eat. They think they're losing fat. But here's the truth a lot of folks don't realize. They might actually be losing something far more critical, their life-preserving muscle. So what is the right weight for a senior? How do you know if you're in that sweet spot? And how can you gain the right kind of weight muscle without just adding belly fat? In today's video, I'm going to break it all down for you once and for all. I'll tell you exactly what weight range is your personal golden weight based on your height. And am going to warn you about the one big trap you absolutely need to avoid. First, why seniors absolutely cannot afford to be too thin. First, we have to understand a fundamental concept. Think of it this way: a younger person's body is at its peak, high performance, fast metabolism. For them, too much body fat can trigger metabolic problems. It's a burden. So managing weight and keeping body fat low makes a lot of sense. But a senior's body, things have changed. Functions like digestion, the ability to build muscle, and your immune system, they're all gradually declining. At this stage of life, having some reserves, both muscle and a little bit of extra fat, isn't a burden anymore. It's your body's critical energy savings account and your protective layer when illness hits, or you just don't feel like eating for a few days. Where does your body get the fuel to keep fighting? It lives off its reserves. These reserves help seniors withstand the stress of illness and maintain their health. In fact, a major, very reputable study published in 2022 in the journal The Lancet Public Health, one of the world's top medical journals, looked specifically at adults over the age of 65, and the researchers found something fascinating. They call it the U-shaped mortality curve. What does that mean? It means that the very obese group, their mortality risk was high. We know that, but here's the surprise. The very thin group, folks with a BMI or body mass index between 18.5 and 21, the ones who look lean and clean, their mortality risk was actually higher than the obese group. So where was the lowest risk of death? The sweet spot. It was a BMI between 24 and 27. Now, by standard World Health Organization classifications for younger adults, a BMI over 24 is considered overweight. But for seniors, this overweight range was actually the safest, the most protective, the zone associated with the longest life. What this tells us is that for older adults, carrying a little extra weight, being a bit more rounded, is what makes your body truly resilient. I know a lot of seniors think being thin is great. I feel lighter on my feet, no burden. And I get why it feels that way, but it can be a deceptive feeling for seniors. Being underweight often signals three really dangerous problems. Hidden danger one, malnutrition. If you're very thin, it often means you're simply not taking in enough calories and nutrients. Every single cell in your body is in a state of relative starvation. Your immune system, which needs a constant supply of raw materials to build its soldiers, doesn't have the resources. So when flu season hits or pneumonia comes knocking, that thin body has no defenses. It gets knocked down fast. Hidden danger two, low resilience to illness. Let's be honest, as we age, we're going to have some health issues, maybe a bad infection, maybe a minor surgery that requires a hospital stay. Think about it. You're in the hospital. You can't eat for a few days. What does your body run on? It lives off its savings. Someone with a little extra weight, they have fat and muscle to burn to get through that recovery period. Someone who's very thin, they have no savings. When illness hits, their body starts consuming its own precious muscle tissue just to survive. It's like an oil lamp burning its last drops. It's incredibly dangerous. Hidden danger three, sarcopenia. This is the one we need to talk about most. Sarcopenia is the medical term for age-related loss of muscle mass and strength, and it's a huge deal. So often when people lose weight rapidly, especially as they age, they think they're losing fat. But in reality, They're losing the very muscle they need to stay alive and independent. So please stop envying the super thin senior. They might look lean or light, but underneath their body can be fragile, lacking the protective reserves they need. So is it eat whatever you want? Number beware the skinny fat trap. Okay, so we know being too thin is bad. Does that mean you have a free pass to eat everything in sight and pack on the pounds? Of course not. But there's a huge trap here, and I really need you to understand it. The golden weight we're talking about isn't just the number on your bathroom scale. It's about your body's composition, what that weight is actually made of. Let's first figure out what your personal golden weight number might be. Everyone grab their phone calculator. We're going to calculate your BMI. Remember, BMI is your weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared, weight in kg, height in m. The Chinese Nutrition Society and many other experts recommend that seniors aim for a BMI roughly between 20 and 26.9, but the absolute sweet spot based on that big study we talked about is between 24 and 27. Let me give you some real world examples so you can check yourself. Let's say you're 5'3" tall, which is about 1.6 meters. If your BMI is 24, your weight would be about 135 pounds or 61 kilograms. If your BMI is 27, your weight would be about 152 pounds or 69 kilograms. So 135 to 152 pounds. In the eyes of a younger person, that might look overweight, but for you as a senior, that is just right. Now, let's say you're 5'9" tall, about 1.75 meters. A BMI of 24 would be about 154 pounds, 70 kg. A BMI of 27 would be about 173 pounds, 78.5 kg. If you're 5'9" and you only weigh 110 or 120 pounds, you are likely too thin and it's time to pay attention. A special warning, sarcopenic obesity. Now, I need to call out a specific group of people. Imagine someone whose number on the scale looks normal, maybe it even looks a little high, but when you look at them, they have a big round belly, but their arms are thin like sticks, their legs are weak, and the skin looks loose and flabby. This body type has a medical name, sarcopenic obesity. This body type is the absolute worst of both worlds. It combines all the disadvantages of being fat and being thin. One, high visceral fat. That's the dangerous fat packed around their internal organs in their belly. This puts them at high risk for diabetes, high blood pressure, and fatty liver disease. Two, low muscle mass. Their arms and legs are weak. They have poor balance. They're at a huge risk for falls. It's like a hollow pillar made of fat. It looks big from the outside, but one push and it crumbles. So the pleasantly plump we're aiming for, it's not that it's being solid. Being sturdy, it's weight that's supported and built by muscle, not just puffy fat. The one health enemy for seniors, muscle loss. This is so important that I have to spend some time really explaining it. A lot of folks don't know this, but your muscles start slowly wasting away around age 30, and after you hit 60, the loss accelerates like a roller coaster going downhill. If you don't actively work against it, you can lose 1 to 2% of your total muscle mass every single year. You might be thinking, so what if I lose some muscle? I'm not planning on lifting heavy boxes. Who needs it? I hear this all the time. And it's a dangerous, incorrect way of thinking. Muscle is not just for looking strong. It's a vital organ with 3 core jobs that are absolutely critical for seniors. Job 1, muscle is your blood sugar sponge. A huge reason why so many seniors develop type 2 diabetes is because they have too little muscle. Your muscles are the biggest users of sugar, glucose in your body. When you eat a meal, that food turns into sugar, and most of it has to be taken up by your muscles. If your muscles have shrunk, if they're wasted, that sugar has nowhere to go. It's like a parking lot that's full. The sugar just piles up in your bloodstream and your blood sugar spikes. So guess what? Building and keeping muscle is one of the most powerful ways to control your blood sugar naturally. Job 2, muscle is your bones airbag. What is the number one fear for seniors? Falling and breaking a bone. A hip fracture especially is devastating. In my field, we often sadly call it a life-ending fracture because so many seniors never regain their independence after one. What protects your bones? It's your muscles. Strong, healthy muscles act like a built-in cushion. Like a thick rubber pad wrapped around your bones, if you fall, your muscles absorb the impact. Without them, it's bone hitting the floor directly, and that bone is more likely to break. Plus, stronger muscles mean better balance. You simply won't fall as much in the first place. Job 3, muscle is your immunity factory. This is a newer area of research, but it's fascinating. Your muscles actually secrete various compounds that support your immune system. People with low muscle mass, they catch a cold at the slightest draft. That cold easily turns into pneumonia, and their recovery is painfully slow. This is why I always tell my patients, saving money in the bank is good, but saving your muscle is better. Your quality of life in your later years, your ability to stay independent, depends entirely on the muscle you have on your body, your action plan, how to build your golden weight. Okay? You understand the why. Now you're asking the $1,000,000 question: what do I actually do about it? How do we build back that golden weight? How do we gain muscle and not just belly fat? I'm going to give you my senior muscle building and anti-aging diet and lifestyle plan. Please commit this to memory and start weaving it into your daily routine. It has three key parts. Part one: stop eating like you're on a clear liquid diet. One of the biggest mistakes I see seniors make is thinking that healthy eating means bland and simple: a breakfast of plain white rice porridge and pickled vegetables, a lunch of plain noodles and broth, leftovers for dinner. They think meat is hard to digest, or they're scared of it because of cholesterol. Some folks even turn vegetarian for years, thinking it's safer. I have to be direct with you. This kind of eating is what I call self-sabotage through diet. White rice porridge and noodles, they're mostly carbohydrates. They turn into sugar almost instantly. All they do is make your belly bigger with fat, but they do absolutely nothing to build muscle. To build muscle, you need one core ingredient above all others: protein. Your protein intake has to be adequate. And here's a fact that surprises many people: for seniors with healthy kidneys, you actually need more protein per Dalton Y than a younger adult. Here's the simple formula to figure out your needs: your weight in kilograms times 1.2 equals grams of protein you need per Dalton Y. For example, if you weigh 60 kilograms, about 132 pounds. You need about 72 grams of protein every single day. What does 72 grams of protein look like on a plate? Let me make it super concrete for you. I call it the big four. You need to hit these four targets every day. One egg, and eat the yolk. The yolk is full of choline, which is great for your brain. Don't be afraid of the cholesterol. For most people, one whole egg a day is perfectly healthy to 1 cup of milk. That's about 8 ounces. Milk is the cheapest, most easily absorbed source of calcium and high quality protein out there. If milk upsets your stomach, try lactose-free milk or yogurt. 2 ounces of meat. That's about the size of a deck of cards. Think lean beef, skinless chicken, turkey, or fish. Red meat gives you iron. White meat and fish are lean. Rotate them to make it easier to digest. You can mince it and make meatballs, or simply steam a piece of fish. 1 serving of soy tofu, edamame, soy milk. Plant-based protein from soy is excellent too. Every single meal, your plate should have some source of protein from this big four, not just bread, rice, or noodles with some veggies. You need the building blocks. Part two: make your carbs complex. Don't just eat white rice and white flour. Mix it up. Add a handful of brown rice, oats, or beans to your rice cooker. Have a baked sweet potato or an ear of corn as your starch instead of white bread. These complex carbohydrates come packed with B vitamins, which help your body's metabolism run smoothly, and they also have fiber, which is crucial for preventing constipation. Part three: eat enough vegetables. Aim for about a pound of vegetables every day. That's roughly 16 ounces. And make sure half of them are leafy greens like spinach, kale, or romaine lettuce. The vitamins, minerals, and fiber in vegetables act like a broom for your digestive tract, keeping everything clean so your body can actually absorb all those good nutrients from the protein you're eating. But diet alone isn't enough. You must move. You can't just eat this way and sit on the couch all day. That's how you fatten up a goose, not build healthy muscle. To turn that protein into strong, functional muscle, you have to give your body a reason to build it. You have to move. And I know what a lot of you will say, but I do move. I walk 10,000 steps every morning. Here's the thing: walking is fantastic. It's great for your heart and lungs. But when it comes to building muscle, walking is just not enough. It's an aerobic exercise. It's great for endurance, but it provides very little stimulus for muscle growth. In fact, too much walking without any resistance training can actually lead to muscle loss and can wear out your knee joints. To build muscle, seniors absolutely need to do strength training. We also call this resistance training. Don't let that scare you. I'm not telling you to go to a gym and bench press heavy weights. You can do these 3 safe and incredibly effective exercises at home starting today. Exercise 1: wall push-ups for your chest and arms. Find a clear wall, stand about an arm's length away from it. Place your hands flat on the wall, shoulder width apart. Now slowly bend your elbows, leaning your whole body toward the wall until your nose almost touches it. Then Just as slowly push yourself back to the starting position. The key here is to go slow, really feel your chest and arm muscles working to push you back. Aim for 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions. Exercise 2, seated leg lifts for your thigh muscles and knee support. Sit in a sturdy, stable chair with your back straight. Slowly straighten one leg out in front of you, and as you do, flex your foot so your toes point up toward the ceiling. Hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds. You should feel the muscles on the front of your thigh get hard and burn a little, then slowly lower it back down. That pause at the top, that's the secret to building strength. You can do these while watching television. Do about 20 on each leg. Exercise 3, calf raises for balance and preventing falls. Hold onto the back of a sturdy chair or your kitchen counter for balance. Slowly raise your heels up off the floor so you're standing on the balls of your feet. Hold for 2 seconds at the top, then slowly lower your heels back down, but don't let them touch the floor completely before lifting them again. This builds your calf muscles, which are absolutely critical for good balance. This is a fall prevention super weapon. Aim for 30 to 50 raises. Beyond these specific exercises, everyday activities count too. Carrying a slightly heavier grocery bag safely, of course, picking up your grandchild. These are forms of resistance training. The key is simply not to be sedentary. The mindset shift, your body is your lifeline finally. I want to talk about mindset because it's just as important as the diet and exercise. I see so many seniors, especially women, get influenced by younger generations' beauty standards. They look in the mirror and think, my waist is getting thicker. These clothes don't look good on me anymore. Friends, I'm asking you to please reframe this, look at your body differently. That little bit of padding around your middle, that's not ugly. That is your life's moat. That's your protective fortress. Those strong, muscular legs, that's not bulkiness. That is your ticket to independence. That's what allows you to walk to the store, to get up from a chair easily, to live in your own home. The ultimate look for a senior isn't a thin waistline. It's the ability to eat well, move freely, shop for your own groceries, cook your own meals, and not be a burden on your children. That is true dignity. That is the highest form of beauty. Psychological research even backs this up. Seniors who constantly obsess over their weight, who are afraid to eat this or that, are more prone to anxiety and depression. And guess what? That makes them more likely to get sick. So relax a little. If your key health numbers like your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol are in a good range as advised by your doctor, being a little heavier is perfectly, absolutely fine. Let's recap your key takeaways. Okay, we've covered a lot. To make this easy to remember, let's summarize the core points. If you're taking notes, here's what you need to remember and put into action. First, remember your golden weight rules. 1, the longevity metric. Forget the idea that old means thin. Forget a rigid number like 110 pounds. The safest BMI range for seniors is between 24 and 27. That little bit of extra weight is your health savings account. 2, eat the big 4 daily. Stop surviving on porridge and pickled veggies every single day. Make sure you get 1 egg, 1 cup of milk, 2 ounces of meat or fish, and 1 serving of soy, tofu, etc. Enough protein is the only way to keep your life-saving muscle. 3, do strength training. Walking is not enough. At home, do wall push-ups, seated leg lifts, and calf raises. Build that muscle so your legs are steady and you won't fall. Second, watch out for these 3 traps. 1, beware of skinny fat. If the scale says your weight is okay, but your belly is big while your arms and legs are thin, you have dangerous sarcopenic obesity. Focus on losing that belly fat and building muscle everywhere else. 2, beware of the super light diet mistake. If you're avoiding meat because you're scared of the 3 highs, high cholesterol, etc., you might be causing malnutrition and a weak immune system. Unless your doctor has specifically told you otherwise, for a medical reason, meat, eggs, and dairy are the essential building blocks your body needs. 3, beware of comparing yourself to young people. A 20-year-old's goal might be to look good in clothes. Your goal is stability, resilience, and independence. As long as your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol are in a healthy range, a few extra pounds are not your enemy. Friends, the number on the scale is just one piece of data. Your ability to eat well, sleep well, move well, and take care of yourself. That's what truly matters. That is the ultimate luxury and the truest sign of health. So starting today, let's stop worrying about those extra couple of pounds. Eat well, move a little more, and aim to be a resilient golden weight individual. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and share it with someone you care about. I genuinely love to know. What are your stats? What's your height and weight? Go calculate your BMI and drop it in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. And remember, this information is for educational purposes only. Always consult with your own doctor before making changes to your health plan. I'm here to help you understand the science, not replace professional medical advice. I'll see you in the next video.